The number one problem that business and ministry leaders face across the country. Any guesses? Some people say, oh, it's our teams, it's our strategic plan, it's lack of resources. It can be just about anything. But the truth is that in most companies, the number one challenge that we face is a breakdown in communication. I would venture to say that 95+% of all issues in a company come down to some form of breaking communication. Let's talk about what some of those things may be. One of the biggest ones is that people assume things. So assumption is our form of communication. Instead of asking for clarity or clarification on something, people just hear something or they read it in written form on an email or a text or something, and they just assume what that person's tone is, what that person's thought process is, what the heart is behind it, and they make a decision. And they then begin to act out of those beliefs of what they have assumed. And a lot of times what we find is that that is completely incorrect. And what if our teams could spend the time to really ask the question, what exactly did you mean with that? Or here's what I thought you said. So let's talk about some ways that as a leader, what are one or two ways that you and I can get better at making sure that communication is not the problem within our organization? I think the first thing that we need to do is we need to prioritize that communication is absolutely critical. And we need to have a value that says we will not assume, we will always seek clarity so that we can always be the absolute best that we can be. Wouldn't it be powerful? And think of how much time you would save if an employee who you had given an assignment to didn't clearly understand and they just assumed one thing. If they would have asked for clarity, then you could have given it from the very first get-go. And how much time as a leader would you or I have saved if we could have straightened it out from the very beginning? So that needs to be the culture in which you operate, and that it's safe to ask those clarity questions, that you're not going to get in trouble. You'd rather them ask the questions now than later on, and helping them understand how much time that saves in the end and how much better that is for the company. That is my job as a leader, and your job as a leader is to help them understand that this is our priority and this is a safe place where you can ask those questions. And those questions are actually celebrated and valued. I think also one of the cool things that you can do is implement, and I learned this from NASA, my husband's work at NASA, is implement what they call skip level meetings. So if you are the key executive in the organization and you have people that report to you, then periodically making sure that the people that report to the people that report to you, that you have a time to hear from them. So I like to, in our organization, do that at least three times a year, where anyone that doesn't report directly to me, but is reporting to one of my people that are reporting to me, then I want to just spend time with them. It's twofold kind of what we're trying to do. One is I want to give them an open door to bring issues, concerns, successes, anything they can think of. I want them to bring it to the table because I really want to know and I want to hear about it. I do tell them at the very beginning that I am not interested in hearing anything that your boss hasn't heard. So we're not going to put the boss out of the loop. And if there's something that's concerning that you're sharing with me that your boss needs to be in the loop of, we're going to bring that boss in. If it's an issue that you have with the boss, then there is a way to handle that, and we should be doing that accordingly. But these skip level meetings really are more about, tell me what's going on. I, as a senior leader, want to know what's going on in your world over there. And what are you doing? What's working? What's not working? What can I do as a senior leader to help you and to help you grow and to provide a way for you to be successful in the organization? And it also gives me an opportunity to clarify any confusion that this person may have, any questions that they have, but it also gives me an opportunity to speak vision and to speak encouragement into them and to build a framework for success as we continue to go along the way. So in our organization, we've gotten really good over the years because we've held it high as a value, because we value people and we value using our time wisely. Is anytime anybody's not super clear, it is always a time to ask a question and to get the clarity that you need. So it's not unusual for me or for my staff member or a person that reports to one of my staff to call or text their boss and say, hey, can I set some time aside with you? I need to get some clarification. And we welcome that openly. So create that culture, because I believe it will make a difference. And I think it would be great if you and I could go back today and to our staff and go, hey, tell me what's going on. Tell me what's working, what's not working. And let's just see what they say, because I'm amazed at the things that they say that are challenges and I could help them with are generally things that are very easy for me to do for them. And if I can free them up to be successful, then that's what I want to do. So we don't want communication to be the thing that's holding us back as a team.